Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Tirye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 9, Dhruv Maharaj returns home. Text number 44 onwards. Yeah. So yesterday, as we discussed, Dhruv Maharaj is returning home. He was from the forest coming towards his city, and Maharaj Uttanpad went ahead with all the retinue to receive him in the at the outside forest. So let's see what happens now. Atha jigran muhurmurni sheeter nayan varibhi snapyama stanayam jatodam manoratha. Reunion with Dhruv Maharaj fulfilled King Uttanpad's long-cherished desire. For this reason, he smelled Dhruva's head again and again and bathed him with torrents of very cold tears. By nature's way, when a man cries, there may be two causes. When one cries in great happiness upon the fulfillment of some desire, the tears coming forth from the eyes are very cold and pleasing, whereas tears in times of distress are very hot. So Maharaj Uttanpad was very happy seeing Dhruva again, and he's smelling his head again and again and bathing him with torrents of very cold tears. Avivandya Pitupada Vashir Bhishchabhimantrita Nanam Mataro Shirshna Satkritaha Sajjanagrani. Then Dhruv Maharaj, the foremost of all nobles, first of all offered his obeisances at the feet of his father, and honored by his father with various questions. He then bowed his head at the feet of his two mothers. It may be questioned why Dhruv Maharaj offered his respect not only to his mother but also to his stepmother, due to whose insults he had to leave home. The answer is that after achieving perfection by self-realization and seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face, Dhruv Maharaj was completely freed from all contamination of material desire. Feelings of insult or honor in this material world are never perceived by a devotee. Lord Chaitanya therefore says that one has to be humbler than the grass, and he recommends more tolerant than the tree to execute devotional service. So devotional service is not that easy to execute. It's not just chanting of the holy names and performing service. It's how we interact with others, how do we deal with others, how we behave with others. Because it is said in one of the shlokas, Sadhva Sadhu Bhushana, a devotee's ornaments are his behavior, his character. So chanting is great, devotion service wonderful, but it has to be absorbed in our character, in our dealings with others. And when those dealings are properly done in a devotional way, in a Vaishnava way, then we make progress. Chanting, everything is great, but that should transform our heart, should bring us to the mode of goodness, so that our dealings are also in the mode of goodness, in devotional way. Devotees are par dukkhe dukkhi. They become sad, distressed when they see others unhappy, when they see others wasting their lives, wasting their time and energy and effort and money over trivial things, very, very unimportant things. But that we have to show by our example. And then then sweetly we can remind themselves of their wasting their human form of life. So Dhruv Maharaj here, he touched the lotus feet of his stepmother also, who insulted him so badly that time. But because of her insult, he got the impetus to go to forest to perform devotion service. So he is very thankful to her actually. Dhruv Maharaj therefore has in this verse been described as Sajjan Agrani, or noblest of the men, Sajjan, foremost of noble men. Noble men of great character, of a very compassionate heart. That's a noble man. The pure devotee is noblest of all, and he has no feelings of animosity towards anyone. Duality due to animosity is a creation of this material world. There is no such thing in the spiritual world, which is the absolute reality. So that's why even for Maharaj Yudhishthira, a word was used, it was Ajata Shatru. Means his enemy has never taken birth. Ajat. Ajat means one who has taken birth. Ajat means I haven't taken birth. So somebody might ask, what about Duryodhan? Duryodhan was enemy of Yudhishthira Maharaj. So Duryodhan was enemy because he had in his heart enmity towards Yudhishthira Maharaj. Yudhishthira Maharaj never considered him as his enemy. That's a devotee. And here Dhruv Maharaj, he's paying respects to his stepmother. Similarly, Shiva's Acharya, he has written this Shad Goswami Ashtakam. In that he said about Shad Goswami, Dhira Dhira Pujito Karo, something like that. I'm forgetting the exact line. Dhira Dhira. Because they were Dhir and Adhir, that means the sober and the ruffians, they all were respecting six Goswamis when they were living in Vrindavan. Why? Because of the dealings of the devotees, the dealings of the six Goswamis. Nobody ever considered them as their enemies. Everybody considered them as their well-wishers. Just like Srila Prabhupada, he came to America, and even though he was living in Bowery in New York, which was considered the place where no civilized man would want to go. They were full of hippies and drug addicts and all kinds of ruffians. But when they would see Srila Prabhupada, they would respect him. They would give him all respect. Of course, some of them stole something from Prabhupada. In fact, his own roommate stole the typewriter. But in the whole area, they all respected Srila Prabhupada because of his dealings with everybody. That is the character of a devotee. Because his frequency, his heart, his mentality, his consciousness is at a very high frequency, at a spiritual frequency. Others, in the material world, practically everybody is at such a low frequency, they're vibrating in the mode of ignorance and passion only. So to deal with them, a pure devotee does not come down to their frequency. He has to lift them to his frequency so they can understand the transcendental subject matter properly. So for us to deal with others, so we have to, that's why we have to perform our Vedi, sadhana bhakti, all the vidhi vedants, all the practices properly, so that we always remain at a higher frequency in dealing with others. And not just dealing with others, for our own sake also. We should always remain at a higher frequency. We should not stoop down to others' levels. Sometimes it might happen. And then we should repent, resolve that I'm not going to do it again, and just come back again. Suruchistam samuthapya padavanatam arvakam parishvadyaha jiveti vashvagadgadya gira. Suruchi, the younger mother of Dhruv Maharaj, seeing that the innocent boy had fallen at her feet, immediately picked him up, embracing him with her hands, and with tears of feeling, she blessed him with the words, "My dear boy, long may you live." So she is also giving him blessings. Yasya prasanno Bhagavan gunair maitriyadibhir hari tasmai namanti bhutani nimnamap iva swayam. Unto one who has transcendental qualities due to friendly behavior with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all living entities offer honor just as water automatically flows down by nature. The question may be raised in this connection, why Suruchi, who was not at all favorably disposed towards Dhruva, blessed him, "Long may you live," which means that she also desired good fortune for him. The answer is given in this verse. Since Dhruv Maharaj was blessed by the Lord, due to his transcendental qualities, everyone was bound to offer him all respects and benedictions, just as water by its nature flows downwards. A devotee of the Lord does not demand respect from anyone, but wherever he goes, he is honored by everyone throughout the whole world with all respect. Srinivasacharya said that 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan are respected throughout the entire universe because a devotee, having pleased the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the source of all emanations, automatically pleases everyone, and thus everyone offers him respect. Yadhira dhira jana priya priya karo nirmatsaro bhuvi bhuva. Nirmatsaro, because the devotees, they're not envious. Matsar means enviousness. So they are nirmatsar, no enviousness for anybody. They're the well-wishers, the real well-wishers of everybody. That's why everybody respects and loves a devotee. Uttamascha dhruvascha bhavanyo anyam prema vipalo anga sangad utpulakavas trogham muhuru hatuhu. The two brothers, Uttam and Dhruv Maharaj, also exchanged their tears. They were overwhelmed by the ecstasy of love and affection. And when they embraced one another, the hair on their bodies stood up. So Uttam was younger brother of Dhruv Maharaj, and Dhruv Maharaj was 5 years old, so Uttam must be around, 4.5, from different mothers. So they are also exchanging love and affection, embracing each other. Suniterasya janani pranebhyo api priyam sutam upaguya jahavadhim tadangas sparsha nirvrita. Suniti, the real mother of Dhruv Maharaj, embraced the tender body of her son, who was dearer to her than her own life, and thus forgot all material grief, for she was very pleased. But somehow in Kali Yuga, it has become opposite. If the boy comes back from a jail after killing many people, and then he goes to jail, and after looting crores and crores of rupees, and then he comes back and everybody respects him, and then they love him. But that respect is not from the heart, actually. That love is not from the heart. Some people might be afraid of him, and some people might be expecting some money from him. That's why they would be doing all sorts of drama. But this is the real love coming out for Dhruv Maharaj. Paya stannabhyam susrava netrajah salila shiva tadabhishitya manabhyam veera veera subho muhu. My dear Vidura, Suniti was the mother of a great hero. Her tears, together with the milk flowing from her breast, wet the whole body of Dhruv Maharaj. This was a great, auspicious sign. When deities are installed, they are washed with milk, yogurt, and water, and this ceremony is called Abhisheka. In this verse, it has been especially mentioned that the tears which flowed down from the eyes of Suniti were all auspicious. This auspiciousness of the Abhishek ceremony performed by his beloved mother was an indication that in the very near future, Dhruv Maharaj would be installed on the throne of his father. So just like a deity is installed, Dhruv Maharaj would be installed, and his Abhishek is done very auspiciously by his own mother's tears and the love and the milk of her breasts. The history of Dhruv Maharaj's leaving home was that his father refused to give him a place on his lap. And Dhruv Maharaj determined that unless he got the throne of his father, he would not come back. And this, his plan of getting the throne of his father was not by any nefarious means of plotting something against his father or killing him. He went the right way to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, get his mercy, and then get the throne. Now, this Abhishek ceremony performed by his beloved mother was an indication that he would occupy the throne of Maharaj of Tajpat. It's also significant in this verse that Suniti, mother of Dhruv Maharaj, is described as Veerasu, a mother who produced a great hero. There are many heroes in the world, but there is no comparison to Dhruv Maharaj, who was not only a heroic emperor of this planet, but also a great devotee. A devotee is also a great hero because he conquers the influence of Maya. When Lord Chaitanya inquired from Ramanand Rai about the most famous man in this world, the latter replied that anyone who is known as a great devotee of the Lord is to be accepted as the most famous. So Dhruv Maharaj is considered a hero. He was hero in both sense, spiritually and materially, because he's gonna great devotee and he's gonna be a great king of the great emperor of this planet. So that's why his mother is called Veerasu, one who has given birth to such a great person. Tam Shashansur Jana Ragim Dishtyate Putra Artiha Pratilabdhashchiram Nashto Rakshita Mandalam Bhuva. The residents of the palace praise the queen. Dear queen, your beloved son was lost a long time ago, and it's your great fortune that he has now come back. It appears, therefore, that your son will be able to protect you for a very long time and will put an end to all your material pangs. So put an end to all your material pangs because she was basically ignored by her husband because her husband was more favorably disposed towards Suruchi. But now that time has also ended because Dhruv Maharaj, her son, has become a great devotee and he'll be the next king. So Suniti will get her position, her respect back as well. Abhyarchitastvaya nunam bhagwan pranatartiha yadanudhyayino dhira mrityam jigyu sudurjayam. Dear Queen, you must have worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead who delivers his devotees from the greatest danger. Persons who constantly meditate upon him surpass the course of birth and death. This perfection is very difficult to achieve. Dhruv Maharaj was a lost child of Queen Suniti, but during his absence, he always meditated upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is able to rescue his devotees from all dangers. While Dhruv Maharaj was absent from his own, not only did he undergo severe austerities in the forest of Madhuvan, but at home also his mother prayed to the Supreme Lord for his safety and good fortune. In other words, the Lord was worshipped by both the mother and the son, and both were able to achieve the supreme benediction from the Supreme Lord. The word Sudurjayam, an adjective which indicates that no one can conquer death, is very significant. When Dhruv Maharaj was away from his home, his father thought that he was dead. Ordinarily, a king's son, only 5 years old and away from home in the forest, would certainly be supposed dead. But by the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not only was he saved, but he was blessed with the highest perfection. So when he was in the forest, not only he was performing austerities and meditation on the Supreme Lord, his mother at home in the palace, also, she was also performing meditation because she wanted her son to be protected from all kinds of dangers. So she was also praying to the Supreme Lord. So the result being she also got purified because of her affection for her son and for son's safety. You see, so something that we have to learn in our lives, that when we are trying to become devotees, we should leave such a favorable impression in the mind and hearts of our relatives, our friends, family members, neighbors, that they also get purified. They also get a chance to get purified. So suppose we are doing some austerity. Maybe we're gone for some yatra or something. So if the family members are thinking favorably about us and praying to the Lord, or let that person complete his yatra nicely, properly, and come back safely. So they also make advancement on the path of bhakti. And at the same time, see, we have to understand the power of blessings. Blessings, we might think, oh, this person is not a devotee, whether my brother or my father or mother, so I don't need their blessings. No, we need everybody's blessings. Nowhere any devotee will go through the scripture, Bhagavatam, and then maybe Chaitanya Charitamrita. Any devotee who has really hurt his parents, relatives, and gone away. Of course, parents will never curse their son. They will always be worried. But why bring out the negative emotions? Why not bring out the blessings of everybody? And the mother Suniti, how she has blessed Dhruv Maharaj. And then she prayed along with Dhruv Maharaj for Dhruv Maharaj's security, safety. So she also got purified. So we want positive vibrations from everybody. We are trying to do something not everybody does. Not too many people. Or not hardly, like maybe 1% of the population of the world might be able to do. So we need all the blessings, positive vibrations. They really help. They really help from every angle. So, sorry, we started a little late, so we'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments.
So Hare Krishna Prabhu, so when Dhruv Maharaj went into the Madhuvan, was he that purified, or was it the blessings of her mother that protected him in the forest till he started all the process?
Well, in the term, whether he was purified or whether he was a devotee. Prabhupada said he was already a devotee. But like we were discussing the other day with Radha Prabhu, I haven't read what he did in the previous life, and I don't know. But regardless, he performed great austerities, and he got the mercy of the Supreme Lord in 6 months.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Anybody else? Okay, so I guess we can stop here. And looks like this Google Meet is working great. You all have a good and safe day. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Jai
Krishna,
Srila
Prabhuji.
Prabhupada.
Jai Shri
Thank you,
Prabhupada.
Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Prabhuji,
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.